Great. And do we have some people on Zoom today, or is everyone who's involved in the day PD in the room with you?
We are all in person, and then we're just going to share the recording for anyone who can't be here right now.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Well, I'm Miriam Gilbert, and I am the head of Rosen Digital, and it really is my pleasure to share Power Knowledge Science. I love this database. It is serious fun, and an emphasis on serious and an emphasis on fun. And one thing I have to say, just in recognition of all of you, is that, and this is my friend Gumby. Gumby, this will really show my age, but I love Gumby, and Gumby is always flexible. And in fact, we certainly have all had to be flexible over the last few years. And in fact, my brother-in-law, who's ex-Navy, told me that the Marines have a saying, the Marine parent group, Semper Gumby, always flexible. If you Google it, you'll find it. So that would be us, right? Always flexible. And but with all of that, and especially as our students are really settling back down into the steady stream of learning, we hope without any interruptions or school closures, we really want to, like now more than ever, to have resources that really engage them on multiple levels is so incredibly important. And Power Knowledge Science, which, as Diana said, is a database license through AEA Online, is for students grades 3 through 6 plus to support studies and personal exploration and curiosity in life science, earth and space science, and physical science. And the reason we say 3 through 6 plus, and I realize that the secondary librarians have gone to hear about core concepts, that some of our students in middle school really do need the extra support for whatever reason that Power Knowledge Science can give. And we created it so it has that broad age span, though the core is grades 3 through 6, and the articles are written at a 4th to 5th grade reading level. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to play an introductory video. This video is available within the online resource section of the database if you want a quick review. And we'll just start here. I'm assuming that other than I don't know if any of you are from Great Prairie AEA, when Great Prairie had subscribed to Power Knowledge Science for prior years, but I'm assuming that this might be your maiden voyage through Power Knowledge Science. So what I plan to do is give you an overview, show you how to explore and uncover what's there, how it's content driven, certainly created to support the curriculum, but also, and as librarians, to support that inquiry-based learning and that student curiosity. Because ultimately, we want our students to be able to think like scientists, whether they become scientists or not. So I'm going to now play the video, Power Knowledge Science Suite.
Rosen Digital's Power Knowledge Science Suite is comprised of 3 online databases covering life science, earth and space science, and physical science. Our Science Suite goes far beyond what students are used to in traditional science textbooks. It is your one-stop solution for teaching science content. The Power Knowledge Science Suite supports one-to-one student computing. It's accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and is compatible with any web browsing mobile devices, including iPads, tablets, and netbooks. Toggle buttons allow you to easily move back and forth between the database and your subscription. Its user-friendly interface supports independent navigation by students at any level. The homepage for each database features content that quickly draws the students in. Dynamic, high-interest videos bring content to life and support visual learners. The interactive quizzes encourage students to engage with the content. Students can quickly find content using two different methods: the standard search bar on the homepage and the innovative Visual Browse feature. Visual Browse allows readers of all levels to navigate the resource by clicking way through the categories and subcategories. From there, article pages are just one click away.
Meet the bear. Have you ever seen the bear in the wild?
Optional text-to-speech audio narration can be customized to ensure that the content is accessible to all learners. Audio can be sped up or slowed down, text highlighting can be turned on or off, and narration can be read by a male or female voice. Science concepts are explained comprehensively in age-appropriate language. The table of contents allows students to navigate within an article. Articles can be printed or emailed, and citations are automatically generated and included. These features, along with the Find Out More, Glossary, and Investigate tabs, help hone user research skills as they fully explore the information they need. Science fair projects and experiments can be done by students in the classroom or at home. Science Fair 101 explains the basics of the scientific method to students so they can create their own projects and experiments. The Power Knowledge Science Suite offers 13 unique interactive games designed to engage students and reinforce key science concepts. These games were developed with the input of a group of game testers and are student tested and teacher approved. Curriculum correlations and lesson plans guide educators step by step in using the database to teach science. In fact, each database includes an extensive array of instructional materials, from correlations and lesson plans, to promotional materials and web widgets, to online training and usage statistics. You'll find all the tools you need to put these resources to use in your school or library. Help your students think like scientists with the Power Knowledge Science Suite.
Okay. So I hope you're still there. And that is a quick, we would say breezy overview of the suite: Power Knowledge, Life Science, Earth and Space Science, Toggle Button, and Physical Science. But I wanted to just sort of set our intention because, again, this might be the first look, though we're going to take a closer look, your first look at the database. And one of the things that I love and our family of users love is that it is so colorful. And we know we're all affected by color, but especially our youngest learners, and these colors are bright, they're engaging, and they make you want to look more. So what we have in front of us here is the homepage, the logged in homepage of Power Knowledge Life Science. And as we said, the toggle buttons allow us to move between and among the databases or the pieces of the database. Of course, the design of all the home pages is the same. The content is subject specific. I'm going to go back to Life Science. So the power is here in this upper left-hand corner. And what we'll see is, on the left, in the left column, we have all the key content areas in alphabetical order, and then buttons to dive into science fair projects and experiments, resources for teachers and librarians, and games. There are multiple ways to get to the content in this database. So there are games here. Now that we're on the home page, we see this bright box here, and science fair projects and experiments we'll be able to find under scientific method. The goal is really almost wherever you go or your students go, they're going to learn something about the database on their way perhaps to finding out that which they've been assigned to do, or just exploring, or it's just quiet time and you're giving them nonfiction informational text, or they need to be settled and you put the student in front on a computer and they have an option of playing a game. But these are games with purpose because it all supports, in this case, we're in the life science database, life science mastery and understanding. So I'm currently in the middle of a snowstorm here in Colorado, and my internet is not the most whip fast. So I've just said it, now I've said it. So when we create these home pages, and we update the home page every week, so the sections of the home page, take a closer look, check it out, games, brain teasers, that's the format, but the content within it changes every week. Take a closer look always highlights a video. It's highly visual database. So we're looking at a black box here for the moment. Not so spooky. Well, Halloween is coming up. So we have the theme here, looking at flying foxes, not so spooky, and black cats. So
flying foxes are some of the biggest bats and can have a wingspan of up to 5 feet or 1.5 meters.
Now, I could have made that full screen, just thinking about how you might use it. And you noted that the video is closed captioned. So all the videos in Power Knowledge, in all of the rows and databases, are closed captioned. And this is another example of it. So we have a little video and a snippet, and then we link. Okay, we go to find out more, learn more. So here we have the video really as a, as a prologue, as an opening gambit to finding out more about flying foxes. So here we are within an article, and I'll continue to unpack articles as we go along. But as you heard in the video, we have article sections. So like the chapters in the book, and you can navigate that way. And my navigation seems not to be navigating. Well, that just isn't a whole lot of fun. And as I said, this is, let me go back to the home page and see if that will allow me to do what I need to do. Apologies here. It says I'm establishing a secure connection, which really is quite the nuisance. So Diana?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, if for some reason my my computer is misbehaving, as it seems to be, what we're going to do is I'm going to have you bring up the database, and you're going to be my Vanna White. So, but let's just see if I can get back. Okay, I'm going back. So let's give this the old college try, but we have a plan B, and that's life, isn't it? We always need a plan B. So
Yep.
we're
There might be some that are all of our screens, several of our screens just went blue and switched.
Oh, and
So-
that might be because she just quit sharing? No.
No, we're not
No.
on. we're just on
Oh,
the
it might be
site.
us.
Work for you guys. I just opened a new tab of it and it came right up again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might be us, not you, Miriam.
Oh my God, I blame myself for everything. But you know what? We're going to get the basics here, and this isn't the last time we'll ever be talking to each other. So what I just did, by the way, is I went from the home page. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Super. And I clicked to learn more. I went into the article where the whole spookiness started, and I was pointing out how to navigate through the database by clicking on the sections, just as you would expect. And we have the options to print an article, and you could print a section or a full article. and the, oh my God, a face only a mother could love. You could have the photos come with, and then we have an email function, and you never know when this is going to be helpful. And again, the choice to include the article images, and then citations. If our students are working on little research projects, we integrate Noodle tools and give MLA, APA, and Chicago citations, and those are, you know, now MLA 8, and so those are up to date. And I'm going to go back to the home page now. We're going to keep on returning to seeing the article pages, and we'll dive into the accessibility features, which are most certainly of critical importance. So we're back on the home page. We looked at, take a closer look. I said that's always a video. Check it out. Just another way to give, in a sense, a fast fact. Great eyes of the cat staring out, black cats, so Halloween, and then learn more. Not surprising, it goes to the article on short-haired cats. Again, the article sections, the print, email, and citation. And I'm going to point out this time that you can do the scroll or on a word that's bold-faced and get a definition of that word that your students may or may not know. And all the articles have glossaries. So in the glossary, you would find those words which were bolded, and everything is read aloud, and we have things broken down phonetically here. So again, another option for reinforcing that content-specific vocabulary. So I'm going to go back to the first section, and we're noting there's another video. You can view the transcripts. All the articles have an opportunity to find out more. So those are ways to continue your research. And then, of course, we looked at the glossary, and we have related articles. The students can further investigate, and those will click right into those articles. The Rosen editorial team has vetted all these links. We take our curation responsibility very, very seriously. That said, if you ever find something, we've been partners with librarians and teachers in Iowa for a long time. And we're a small company at Rosen Publishing and Rosen Digital, but we certainly are responsive. You can always contact us. I'm at the bottom of the page, and my team is across the country. As I said, I'm in Colorado. I'm trying to pull up contact us. It looks like we are stuck yet again. No, here we are. And we monitor this all through the day, and the day tends to go beyond what you would consider a typical work day or a typical school day, and you'll always hear from us. So I'm back on the home page. We're still in Power Knowledge Life Science, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue scrolling down. We have a brain teaser, so we're presenting the information in multiple formats. And simple question: how many eyes do spiders have? Do most spiders have? Well, I'm going to say 20 because I'm a little scared of spiders, and I could imagine them having 20 eyes. So I'm going to answer, and what I will be told, whether it's right or wrong, little brain teaser. Spiders, most spiders have 8 eyes. So we talk about that, and to find out more about spiders and nature's creepy biters, that takes us to the article on spiders. If only we will go there. And I'm waiting for Power Knowledge Life Science, but you have it on good authority that it goes to that article, and here we are stalled yet again. Okay, well, we'll see if this keeps happening again. Maybe we'll do the Vanna White thing, Diana, but
Yep.
This is frustrating because it seems like I keep on, I'm connecting. I'm not sure if I'm connecting.
Diana, this is happening. Oh, just
Okay,
went
it
blue
might
again.
be our Zoom connection.
Yeah.
Would you like me to go get our tech person to come look at it?
I think it might be the site.
I
I
think
don't
it's the
think
site.
it's.
We're
the
not on
site.
Zoom. Okay,
Because
they
we're not
think
on
it
the
might-
Zoom, we're
They
on their
think it's
site.
oh, that's right.
Or the internet here, one of the.
Either the internet here, which would be also controlling our Zoom, or the Power Knowledge database itself. We might be crashing it.
Yeah.
But it's probably our Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I've given presentations, most recently. I haven't encountered this particular problem. There's always something to encounter.
Right.
And, what I can do is I can do a book talk, database talk, which is really not all that satisfying, but I have a gift of gab, and we can still go through this, and I know what I'm going to do.
I'm gonna also go get our tech person while you're doing that, because I can't ban it for you. It's doing the same thing for me, so it's gotta be
Okay.
us.
So,
Not you, it's me.
so folks, can you see what I just put up, which says
Yeah.
homepage?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So now plan 1A. So I have PowerPoints. I really love to demo live because then you really get a sense of the rich interactivity of this database. But we're in plan 1A. And so what we're doing here is we're looking at those PowerPoint slides, which were created, some time ago, but this will give us some of the essence. So we were on that homepage. So I hope we're cool with that, because this is my best idea. We have a search box, and the search box was mentioned. So that's one way to find information. It's nice and big. There's a magnifying glass to help us search. Then we have the core content going down this left-hand side, the visual browse, and then the key content, which draws the users in, and our games, which are pedagogically based, which are reinforcing content knowledge. There are lesson plans that we've created to go with the database, to go with the games as well. And we have the interactive quizzes, which we started to look at, and then the high interest videos supporting visual learners. And who doesn't like to watch a movie these days? So how we search for content is through the visual browse, and that will be unpacked in a further slide, and using the search bar. So to use the search bar, you type in what you're looking for. Of course you do. However, one of the things that can happen, and it doesn't seem to be on this slide, is if you are, I was playing around earlier because I wanted to show you in the live site the content we have on Hurricane Ian, because we keep this database up to date in an ongoing way. And we want the students, there's core content, core science content, but we also want to reflect what's going on in the world, whether it's the new spacecraft going to Mars or Hurricane Ian. And what will happen, but what I did further to search is, not all of our students are the best spellers. We're maybe not the best spellers. And I consider myself a good speller, but I didn't spell hurricane correctly. I left off the E, and I got a did you mean, I got 2 choices, and that was great. And then I clicked into that choice. And with the visual browse, we're going to look at that, and the topics, as we've said, are designed to correlate with subject units in the curriculum. And when we go back to live demoing, there is a curriculum correlation section that has all the state standards, but of course the Iowa standards in science, math, and language arts, and correlations to the next generation science standards. And in that correlation tool, and I know I'm talking about.
You'd like me to Vanna now. Our tech person said, because it's working now
It is?
here at our facility, so I can Vanna or drive if you
Okay.
would like, or you can try it again.
No, I think we're going to just do what you're doing here. So let me see. I'm going to stop share.
Okay.
Here it is. It's now back. Let's do a Vanna if everyone can cope with that. So I'm going to stop my screen share because I'm going to be looking at your screen. Well, there's me, and I'm going to turn off my video because you need to see me. But we can have. So do you have?
Yeah, I'm trying to get in. We were using, our room has a Zoom, so we were using that. So I'm going to join in here as myself.
Okay.
And then I can share the screen.
And what better self is there than your own self? Okay.
I'm gonna not join with computer audio. Or I'm going to, and then I'm gonna mute myself.
And I see, some of the screens, and I think that probably while this is going on, some of you are seeing rightly, I'm going to just use this time to explore myself. And that's just great. Because really what today is an opportunity to focus for this 1 hour time on this resource. So you're in a game now. So Diana, if you can click on the logo of Power Knowledge Life Science, that'll bring us back to the homepage.
Can't.
But now click that logo, Power Knowledge Life Science. Are we sharing screen?
Yes.
Oh, great. So am I able to click through this now or no? No. Okay. So we're back on the home page and we were looking at search and browse. So what I need you to do is click on animals. Click on animals. In that left-hand column. Well, Jiminy Cricket.
Yep, it's going to take a little bit, maybe.
So this is what I'm going to suggest. This is Life's Rich Pageant. So if we were, oh, here we go. If we were with students, they'd probably be throwing gum at us right now, but they're not allowed to do that. So why don't we go, this is the visual browse. If you go to farm animals, can you click on farm animals? And what will happen is that the articles that are related to farm animals will appear. And there we go. Fantastic. And then you can see we have more, see that going down. And then we can click on donkeys and shucks, we're in the article on donkeys. So that's one way to search as well. I'm glad we're giving everyone, have you told folks about the tree frog or the frog that is the door prize for today?
It's the door prize. I don't know if I told them that there's a lunch exit ticket to fill out before they leave today for lunch. And that's going to be their ticket for the drawing, but yes.
Okay, wonderful. At least if you remember nothing else, oh my God, there's that rose in digital with the door prize of a frog. So here we are on an article page again, and I want to point out the listen feature, and that is the read aloud feature. So if you click on that, now click on that gear, click on the gear right now, because I want to show what happens, how you can customize the accessibility features for the database. So you can choose text highlighting on and off, word sentence highlighting on and off, colors, in the foreground and the background, the speed of the read aloud, and enhanced text visibility. So there's a lot of support here for your students who need that support for whatever reason. And you can also choose a male or female voice because some students do respond better to the tone and timbre of that. So I wanted to point that out. And if you move the little hand to the right, Diana, you see save. Just stay on the top of the page, save. You can save an article to your Google Drive or as a Word doc. And for your English language learners, and I know distributed throughout Iowa, there are greater or lesser concentrations of new language learners. We have translation. This is Google Translate, so full disclosure. But if you go down and click on, well, you have Bosnian. So that is, there's a lot there. If the language is read aloud, Bosnian is not one of the 13.
Oh, okay.
That is, if we go to Spanish, let's go to Spanish. Keep going. It's after Lesotho.
Yep.
Okay, Spanish. Okay, and we have escuchar, and that'll read aloud in Spanish.
And that read aloud feature is so important because sometimes our ELL kiddos aren't fluent readers in their native language either.
Yeah.
So getting them the text may or may not help them, but having it read aloud will help get them access to that information.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to go back to English, just go up the list and
I'm gonna look at English really quick too. Just
oh,
'cause I
sure.
heard someone
Whatever.
ask.
I mean,
And I'm just curious if it also reads aloud on that. How many languages does it offer in the read aloud?
13.
13. Okay, good to know. Thank you. Okay,
Yeah,
where do you
and
want me to go? Back to English.
If there's a language that you particularly need read aloud, please let me know if that, and I will inquire with my colleagues about whether that language read aloud is available. So, but we've just looked at some of the accessibility features which are there. You know, I'm aware of time. Well, we have about 25 minutes, and I really want you all to be able to explore yourself. Let's go back to the home page. And I want to point out the game-based learning. So if we can hit the back button or hit the logo.
It's going.
It's going.
I do know the games. I've interacted with those, and they're not what you would normally consider a game. They're very problem-based. Like they're really good. They're engaging, but it's also dealing with content. So it's a sneaky way to get kids to engage in content.
It really is. And so since we're in Halloween, let's just click play now. And that's going to open under games. It's going to open. That's great. So in life science, there are 6 games. All these games were created specifically for this database. There's a gaming lesson plan. And Dr. Legbone, I mean, I happen to love Dr. Legbone, but you could click on the gaming lesson plan, whatever place you think would be most useful to go. But Legbone, especially because it's Halloween. And so this might be something that would be fun to use where you're building a Frankenstein monster of sorts. And I don't know if the sound is working on the game, but you should hear if you click start game.
I think I have my computer muted. I'll try it because
okay, that's okay. Just know there is sound. So if you click get started, okay, the creature needs oxygen. Let's find a way to get oxygen to the body. So you click continue, and then you have to drag and drop the organ that you think will allow oxygen. Okay, you drag and drop to Dr. Legbone.
to the doctor.
Okay. Let's just see what happens. Oh, take a deep breath and try again. You know, this is like Sesame Street. Like it's clever language. It amuses us. And I think it also is emphasizing we're talking about breathing, add to creature. And when you click add to creature, you hear the building sound of the creature. And that's so much fun. And you can see waiting in the wings. Waiting in the wings is the creature which will then emerge at the very end. So it's a really cheerful thing that, especially because we're sort of in a Halloween mode, I don't know if that's appropriate for what the students are learning in class, but in a sense, people, then the kids get very focused on Halloween. So why not? It's like the spoonful of sugar. Bring them in this way, get them engaged. It's a way for them to have an introduction to the database and some of the things they can do, or your classroom teachers could do. So if you're going to, if you want to continue building the creature, or
I can go.
Okay, I know it's hard to resist. But if you hit the back button, that's good. Hit the back button. And so we see there are 6 games, and some of the games have different levels. Leg bone isn't one that has different levels. There's a lesson plan for gaming. So it's a way to, if I think at this point, the notion of game-based learning is better understood and integrated into what happens throughout the school environment. But why don't you click on the gaming lesson plan? Let's just take a look at a lesson plan. And so what's there is you have a summary, then how to use games to support the science curriculum, and a worksheet to go along with it. So you're not starting from a blank slate at all. And we really did have student testers when we developed these games. It was very cool. So gaming lesson plan, the description, the materials needed. And you can
Hey, AASL standards. Woohoo, you're speaking our language.
Yeah, hey, that's who we are. We're just talking a common language. So I think, like most lesson plans that would come with digital materials, you might want to use some of it, or maybe you won't, or you can, this is yours to apply how you would like. You can copy, modify, whatever you want. You have this subscription, and so I just welcome you to do that. With that, you don't need to ask our permission. It's just there. So that's great for you to know that the gaming lesson plan is there, and it gives further gravitas to how you might integrate it, or ideas for integrating. So let us go back a page. Let's just go back to the home page.
I'm trying, sorry.
Maybe the tab.
It looked up there, but it's.
So here we are back. And you can see, and just while we're here, I'm going to show you the other places that correlations, but here we are. If you see in green, get correlations here, why don't you click on that, since I want to be sure. And again, this is not the only place that you would find the correlations tool.
It's coming.
It's a coming. It's a coming.
I think this would make your teacher's eyes shine.
We do want eyes to shine. I love that notion. So that's the game correlations. But so if you go down to see, the specific games are correlated, but if you see the interactive correlations tool, click on that. And that, okay, so great. And if you click here to explore curriculum correlations. I know this seems like there's a lot of clicking as we're going on. And so what you do is select a state. If you see the NGSS standards on top, so we select Iowa.
Okay, you want me to do NGSS?
No, I'm just saying that they're there, but let's go into the Iowa standards, because those are probably, so we select Iowa, select a subject, and as I said, it's language, arts, math, and science. Well, let's click science. Let's just click science and select a grade. Select a grade, and let's
do 6.
Okay. And
Well, that's not as elementary, but I remember sixth grade did a human body unit in science when I was still in the school.
yeah, and so what we have are the sixth grade standards, and you see that some of the article titles are in blue, and you can click from the standards directly to an article. So as you're working with your teachers, and they come to you and they say, I'm doing a project on whatever it is, and this is one way for you to quickly get to that information and that article list, but also for them. I mean, we want to put that power and competence into their own hands as well. So, and there you have the circulatory system. And so, I mean, why don't you click on circulatory system, and then that will just, that's great. And that should bring us to the article. I see it's going to be article 432 on the circulatory system. And
while we're waiting for that to load, they can even, so let's say they're helping a teacher make a choice board. So they're doing a body system research, and so they have a choice board, and they could go play the bones game, or they could go to that article 32. They can just share that link.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And because they're within the AEA, I mean, however, each AEA is set up just a little bit differently, and we've done it based on what we've been asked to do and how we're integrated into your single sign-on, but it should be absolutely easy. That's the goal.
If they're already logged into ClassLink,
Yes.
or one click, just so all of you know, if they're already logged in, and then if they get something like that, they click on it, it won't ask them to log in because they're already logged in, and the browser will know. That's with all of our resources,
Yeah.
in theory.
So while we're waiting, we're waiting
Sorry.
for Godot. I'm not sure if any of you have read the old existential play Waiting for Godot, and it sort of feels like we are waiting, and we're waiting. But I'm now going to talk a bit about what on the homepage. There we are, back into the article on the circulatory system, or actually in it. So what we did was we went from the correlations to the article on the circulatory system, and all the things that you expect are there: the listen, the save, the select a language. There is a video, and that's just very cool. Now, one of the things I do want to point out that we haven't done with searching is I want you to put in the search box. So we're going to go back up and just even put circulatory system or circulatory, just put it in. And I want to see what happens when we do a search. Oh, please search, because what we're going to see, what you're going to see is the articles that pertain as well as the images that pertain. I wanted to point that out to you so you knew that those results were served in that way. And certainly there are certain topics that have far more images or videos involved, and those will all appear in the right-hand column. So I want you to go back to the home page now.
Sorry, I was already thinking of a connection of how they could use that image on a Google drawing for labeling and things. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Well, I'm wondering at this point, we have 14 minutes. And I'm going to quickly show something, and then I think you all have some ideas that are percolating about how you might want to use it. But I also just want to show you a few more things. So if you go down the home page, just scroll down, and you're going to see some buttons: science fair experiments, resources for teachers and librarians. Click on science fair projects and experiments. And I just want you to see that there are, seeing will be believing, that there are projects and experiments that, I don't know if you're doing things in the library, but or the classroom teachers are doing some very simple experiments, or the the children are being asked to do some home experiments. So this gives a real variety of things. And we would love if there are some experiments that you think should be added to the database, we'd love to know about it. But so yes, you just clicked on a project and measuring heartbeats. And it's not even Valentine's Day. Okay.
Oh, that's a good connection.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then I want you to click on resources for teachers and librarians, because this is, okay, great. So in that section, which you can see, you can get to from any page in the database, you have a link to the curriculum correlations. You have a link to the science fair projects and experiments. Again, you can do things in multiple ways. Lesson plans and reproducibles. Can you quickly click on that? So in addition to, these are very broad lesson plans on digital literacy and 21st century learning tools. So a broader lesson plan that you could use on animals, biomes, and body systems. Again, we're in life science, reproducible sheets, print and label sheets, research worksheets. So I want you to know that they're here. So you can explore. There we go. I mean, it's something that then you don't, or the teacher doesn't have to create. And there's that reminder on the top with a little Power Life Science logo, so people know what they're doing. So we'll go back to the page from whence this came. Slowly we turn, step by step, inch by inch. Okay, let's go back one more page. Okay, and we have live video feeds. So if you, can you click on that?
Absolutely.
So we're not going to click into any of these feeds now, lest we go down a rabbit hole, but I want you to know, and there are her Iowa feeds. So these are live cams that that can be used to your imagination. I have some teachers in this, I mean, we have a tropical reef cam or whatever it is that you like to, you or your students like to look at, that are ways to also, if we're talking about social and emotional learning, you know, here we're talking about science, what's the link? Well, if you sit and you're looking at the hummingbird's nest, or you're looking at the elephant's walkabout in the DC Zoo, or the tropical fish, because there's a tropical fish cam. So, or you use it in just flat out science information, but it's another way for the students and for you to access information. The jelly cam from the Georgia Aquarium. So that aquarium is so neat. If you ever have a chance to go to Georgia, I highly recommend it. So I wanted you to know the cams are there. Okay, you do get a notice that you're leaving the Power Knowledge Life Science site. And we'll now find out. So you got to scroll down just a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, and the jelly cam should come up just, and there they are. And you can make it full screen. And some of the cams have music, not all of them do, but, and that's dependent on the creator of the cam. But I don't know, I find myself jellyfish rather calming. Wouldn't want to get stung by one, but it really, it's so you know that that's a feature in this database, those live cams. So we're going to close out of that. Thank you. And let's, oh, there are koalas. Let's go back to the prior page.
Koalas.
And I want you to note that there are scientist profiles that you can access as well. And so, and those, you could click from whoever it is there right into the article in which there's more information about them. So you have that as an option. And then finally, we're going to go back to the core librarian educator resource page, and we're going to note the promotional materials. It's above scientist profiles. I'm doing this, it appears random. What we're in the process of doing, well, let me just say, there are bookmarks that you can print yourself or request. We have a case study from Solon Community School District about how Kathy Kaldenberg, who is now not a practicing librarian, but was an amazing librarian in Solon Community Schools, and how she collaborated with one of her teachers. Then we have parent letters in English and Spanish that you can send home about the database.
That's a way to not have to create something. Send that home with kids or in their backpacks when they've done something with it.
Yeah. And we have, if you could click, Diana, on the second poster, that's 17 by 22. And I am working with
Kathleen?
Tracy Marshall and Kathleen to customize this so it'll look just like it is, but what we'll be changing is at the bottom, we'll be deleting the URLs that you see there and putting in the access information for Iowa, you know, as they guide me to do it. But these are posters, you know, if you have room. I know wall space is at a premium, but it's a cute poster. And so if it's something that you can use, just know it's there for you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
It's cute. It also could be used in newsletters or on, you know, slideshows that are featured in your library, all kinds of ways to use this.
Yeah, I love it. I just love it.
Nice.
So the other thing, and maybe for your little ones, if you keep going down and you see where it says stickers, it's all you need is stickers all over the floor but if you have a yen to have stickers, those you could print that on sticker paper and have sheets of stickers. You know, and so we don't have stickers for each database. We just have the Froggy sticker as a full reveal, but I wanted you to know the stickers were there. At the time when we created the stickers, my son was younger and he was mad about stickers. So that's how the idea of stickers for this database was born. You know, there's so much of what we do is based on our own life experience, and that makes it real, and it establishes that connection. And we're always looking for the best way to connect. And so I'm going to now, there's only 5 minutes left, and I don't know if there are any questions through this somewhat halting, but I hope ultimately successful introduction to Power Knowledge Science. What we didn't do is dive into the other databases, but if you were to go into Earth and Space and look for hurricanes, and you'd find an article on hurricanes and information about Hurricane Ian. And so you see, take a closer look. So this is equally, you know, rich saturation of colors. You have that video, the check it out about the rock cycle, the top broad topic areas, subject areas in the left-hand column. And the search bar, I mean, it's all there. It's just now appropriate for that content area. And the same thing for the physical science.
Well, in case you didn't realize, it's kind of like 3 databases in one. So depending on the science standards they're working on. I have a question. So let's say I'm in the physical science and I search for pandas or something. Is it going to also bring up content that might be in the life science?
I don't believe it will, but let's go try just to make sure I am.
They already answered. They said no, and that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it is, Yeah, so you really, and it's easy enough to click over because, and that was something we talked about when we were building it. You know, how much of a global search do you want, and how confusing will it be for that level of learner?
Right, I think it's good. It's because they've got the visuals and it helps keep them from going in a rabbit hole. It can keep it more focused on the content.
Yeah. So you've had some really good suggestions about how to use it. Are there any other suggestions from the assembled masses? Like what's going to happen this week?
I just think for my littles, it's another place that I can get the teachers to take their littles to research versus just Googling.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm constantly looking for those spaces because they always revert back to Googling and it drives me crazy. So I like the looks of this and hopefully it'll engage them more.
Yeah, and we know, I mean, we know that everything we do teaches reading and reinforces reading and literacy and comprehension. And this is another tool for that too. I mean, it is, there's so many ways to think of things. Nothing is just one thing. And especially since this is so colorful. And I think the parents will find it if they're working with their students at home. I think they'll get a lot of pleasure out of this too.
Yes, that would make parents' eyes shine as well.
We want their eyes to shine. It's like if mom and dad are happy, everybody's happy. So, well, I think that's it for me, unless you have any other questions. I'm always available to you. And you can always get in touch. Well, you can get in touch with us directly through the contact us at the bottom of the page of every database. I'm happy. Diana has my email. You can always reach out to me that way. And I will get back to you. I will get back to you. And that is, so, and we love the conversation to keep it going. And if there are things you need, things you want to see in the databases, we were talking about, the different language read alouds, which may or may not be in my power, but it's always worth a question. And so we really appreciate you. And we're excited to work with Iowa and Power Knowledge Science.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry for the glitches in our Wi-Fi.
This is a good, it's a good humor maintenance exercise, right? We have to stay flexible and optimistic. So thank you so very much and have a great rest of the day.